Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another video. Not a movie review, but another thing regarding. Since now we're into 2017, like I do as always, I had last year had a lot of box office flops, and now beginning of the new year, it's time for me to say that me predict what films are gonna future films of this year is gonna bomb by the end of 2017. So just going down the list. I'm not gonna name all of them, but I'm just gonna name a few that I think are gonna be flops. And I'm mainly suggesting that some of them are. I'm referring to some of the big budget ones mostly. That looks like they are. So starting off, which one is gonna come out tomorrow, the 13th. Should be bad Friday the 13th. But when that's gonna be Monster Trucks, which I already did a video of giving my thoughts on the first trailer when it came out. Yeah, Monster Trucks. I think that's gonna be a huge help, especially. Let's say January is always a bad month, especially for big budget films. I say that's why I predict it's gonna be a huge flop. I think the budget's like about. I know it's over 100 million. I think maybe 120, maybe 25, around there at the most. I think that's what they said it is, but January is a bad month for big budget films like those or to make money. So that's why I think it's gonna be a huge flop. The first big flop of this year, I would say. So yeah, so Monster Trucks. Next, February 17th is I would say The Great Wall. It's that action film starring Matt Damon. Um, that one, I saw the trailer for that. I was like, I'm not really too sure on this. Such for a film that's like a sci-fi film that's about involving the Great Wall of China, all these creatures running around, and the budget I would say that the looking at was like probably 150 million. So such for coming out in February. Well, for this type of film, I would say it'd be a huge flop. It'll probably make money overseas because China, but domestically, I think it's gonna be a huge flop for like if you're a big watcher like that though. But I'm sure it's gonna make money overseas, especially probably for China probably. But I would say regardless of all that though, I still say it's gonna be a huge flop. That's what I'm predicting. So the Great Wall. Um, the next one, I'm sure probably will make money though, but just why I saw it, just I wanted to do I originally wanted to get my thoughts on this film, but I wasn't too I was doing other things though, so I couldn't. But the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, I grew up with the original TV show. The original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger has always been the best. I don't have no interest. I don't care for all these newer ones. They look pretty much. They look sucky to me. That's what it is. They look like they all suck. These newer shows, like I can't remember what. So many of these new titles. I just can't keep track of them. They all don't look. They don't look good. It's nowhere near as though how the original was. That's why I think. I know it's just. I don't care. I never care for those new shows. I never would. Never will. But there's always been this like a whole big nostalgic thing about this new Power Rangers film. Yeah, the Elizabeth Banks playing Rita and Bryan Cranston playing Zordon. Okay, got a couple of good actors playing these characters from the show. I'm sure it will make money though. But a bunch of these and this guy who's directed this film. This director played another play, but guy who directed Project Almanac, that time traveling found footage film. And these new characters who play in the Rangers, I don't know who they are, so except for Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Banks, and even Bill Hader is also in this playing Alpha. But I'm sure it's probably make money though for because of how new it's been years since the new Power Rangers film came out. Last one was like about 1997. That was like Turbo movie, but I'm not too sure on this because I saw the trailer. I was like, ugh. I just rather watch the to me like the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie looked better. That's a childhood film for me because I grew up especially watching the shows and then watching that movie growing up. To me, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie looks better than this, but especially with that movie had like the original well a lot of the original cast members from the show came in the show. The three of them from season two basically because this is around season two and season three basically before season three, but still. My Power Rangers. I'm sure I'll make money though, but to me, it just look like it won't do big. It won't be very as good. But yeah, but I'm sure it'll prove me wrong. Moving on. There's this animated film called Animal Crackers. Animal Crackers. This sounds like. Why I'm saying this because it's released. It was released in eight. It's being released in April, and there's this. Like last year, yeah, back in April, there was a video game film called Ratchet and Clank, and that flopped horribly. So I would say it's gonna be. I would say the same for this, in which really enough, that film had Sylvester Stallone voicing, and he's voicing in this film. Like he's also like he voiced in Ratchet and Clank, and he voiced in this. So yeah, I would think I would call. I don't know what the budget for this one, but to me, it's the title and how this one will go. I would predict that Animal Crackers, I would say, would be a flop as well. Now this one, I would say is also going to be a very huge flop. Originally it was called Knights of the Round Table, but it's to change to King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. The one with Guy Ritchie's directing. Because originally it was supposed to come out like in March, like the same weekend as the Power Rangers movie in March, but they moved it to May 12th. Horrible. I was is a horrible place to put that because week before that, the 5th, that's when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 coming out, and that's gonna make a lot of money. And I don't think I'll definitely King Arthur Legend of the Sword is not gonna stand a chance. Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna making that money around that time, and yeah, they were going to focus on this Marvel superheroes more than seeing a medieval knight with Excalibur. Well, the famous King Arthur with Excalibur, but still. King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. That's just gonna say it's gonna be a huge box office flop, especially facing the stiff competition of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So yeah, that's I'm predicting another one like right there. Coming out, I would say on June 9th, is the new version of The Mummy. I would say, starring Tom Cruise, because they're Universal. They want to start this the old classic Universal monsters. They want to make this now into a cinematic universe. They started with back in 2014 with Dracula Untold, which I didn't care for, and this one doesn't look all that good to me because I like Tom Cruise though, but just how the way this one is and the villain, this mummy is to me it looks like a straight up ripoff from the Enchantress from Suicide Squad. Just how the way this mummy looked, and just especially how with performing the powers and all that, it looks like a straight up ripoff from Enchantress from Suicide Squad, and that wasn't even a good villain anyway. So Enchantress was a boring and the villain sucks in that movie, and I would say they're taking a looks like a ripoff from that. So yeah, I would just rather go watch. I would just rather watch the 1999 Luke's remake of the Mummy with Brendan Fraser. That was much more. It looks much more fun than this new one. But I like Tom Cruise though, but I would rather watch the 1999 one with Brendan Fraser. So the Mummy, 2017. I would say maybe it'll make money though, but I'm just saying right now. Uh, moving on. Just going down. Same with other ones like maybe huge, maybe other bigger flops, but November. Well, going all the way down to December. Maybe I would probably say that maybe the Jumanji one though it stars Dwayne Johnson, or maybe also speaking with Dwayne Johnson, maybe Baywatch, which honestly that didn't look good. That didn't look good either. It didn't look funny either. So maybe I'll say put on Baywatch as well. Which to me, I saw the trailer, didn't look like how the original show was. I didn't grow up with Baywatch, so I only saw like one or two episodes, maybe three at most. Growing up, I only saw like a few, and that was it. The one I remember from Baywatch was an episode that dealt with the giant electric eel. That's probably the one I remember the most from Baywatch. Yeah, it was that episode dealing with the giant electric eel. What was it called? The eel, you know? I forget how the title was though, but I'm sure people will know. I'm sure people know if they just look it up. It's on YouTube. Because I was looking it up a while back. So yeah, that's the only basic episode I remember from Baywatch was the episode where it dealt with the electric eel. Because I remember when David Hasselhoff had the defibrillators and just shocked it. So yeah, but I would say Baywatch, this new one with Dwayne Johnson, and I'll probably see this reboot / sequel to Jumanji as well. And maybe I'll also say the greatest showman. The greatest showman. I think it's taking up playing on the greatest showman on earth, the circus, whatever. Uh because if they ever term, the greatest show, yeah, the greatest show, show on earth. I think it's supposed to be the thing that would make a movie on that, the greatest showman on earth. I think it's about this, whatever it is. I haven't heard anything about it, but until I see a trailer, maybe I'll say that's a flop though. But I'm just calling things out right now. So films like that will make it huge flops, but there'll probably be a couple that'll prove me wrong. That will be hits though, but for the most part, like I said, like Monster Trucks coming out tomorrow. I'm already saying that. I'm already calling that right now. The Great Wall. Maybe it'll make money overseas, but domestically, I think it will be a huge flop. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, definitely, because the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The animated film Animal Crackers, like Ratchet and Clank, but this one I think will do horrible. Uh, Maybe, I'm sure Baywatch will make money though, but I'm just saying, because it didn't look that funny to me. As much as I like Dwayne Johnson though, but the film just didn't look funny to me. And plus, it was like a lot of CG things, like the part where Dwayne Johnson was on the boat with that's on fire. A lot of CG background screens and flames like that. So and the jokes I think wouldn't be funny either. Maybe maybe Jumanji as well because it's around the Christmas time and people are going to go see the next Star Wars film. So that's the name of a few. I'm just calling the ones that I think will be huge ones though, but of course, as usual, by the end of the year, I'll have my full list of what films that are big or small budget films will be flops. So, and maybe once in a while, when I do a vlog, I think a film will necessarily think, oh, this film is bombing right now. But as of right now, yeah, that's what I'm just calling out. So yeah, those are some of the films I would say will further down for the future of this year will predict will be flops, but. Like I said, a couple will probably prove me wrong, will be hits though, but probably I'm sure I'll be right on a couple of them. So yeah. So thanks for watching and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.